Hi guys, notice anything different? Do you notice the silky black raven color of my locks? That's right, I dyed my hair natural black. Shout out to L'Oreal Ollier. Anyway, welcome to Makeup and Mess. The camera, is that better? Right? So you don't see my hair cut off. All right, what are we talking about today? We are talking about a few things. We're talking about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're talking about Rinna and the way she's still trying to prove that she has her one black friend, right? She's still in it. We are talking about Porsha and Simon and their Costa Rican getaway. That's right. Every single time you're on their Instagram, they want to hear, house. It's a very, very, very fine house with 2 steps in it. That's all they want you to hear when they hear it. They are selling this pursuit of Porsha like their lives and livelihoods depend on it. That's right, mama. Work and sell like your man is depending on you for a paycheck. And we're also going to do a nice green look. You saw that earlier. All right, so let's get into it, right? You know, I'm using ColourPop or it's their pastel green. And I got this hack from TikTok and I haven't stopped doing it, where you use your fingers to put on the eyeshadow and then use a wet one or a Huggies wipe to clean up the difference. Don't sleep. If y'all don't got any kids, that's fine, but don't sleep on Huggy wipes because they will do you right. Now let's talk about, who do we talk about first? Let's talk about the Rinna mess first, right? And the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, if you didn't see that reunion, I did, and I was just like, okay, Rinna is a vile. I always got dark energy from her. I know I sound like Dark Shadows, right? I always got dark energy from her, but ooh, on that reunion stage, I was just like, you know what? I give it to Garcelle. She knows how to navigate a room of hateful people. I guess she did that being in Hollywood for so long. She knows how to maneuver these things, but again, I listen, here's the thing. We're all too old to be fighting, so I'm not even going to say something dumb like, oh my God, if that was me, I wouldn't have done nothing but either got up and walked away or rolled my eyes at Rinna. But I give it to the fact of that Garcelle kept her calm, she kept her cool, she didn't once raise her voice, because you know they were waiting for that so they could be like, oh, we're afraid, Garcelle's aggressive, right? So I started off with this green. I'm using this blue. It's the fresh cut and then the new age to accentuate the green. Yeah, I know I'm winging it, but it's going to turn out really well when I'm done with it. Let me switch fingers so I can do this, right? Just follow me on this. I'm going to show you y'all from beginning to end, right? So they were waiting. They were waiting for Garcelle to get upset. They were waiting for Garcelle to flip out. They were waiting for Garcelle to do all this stuff, but they could have kept waiting because Garcelle said, my name's Bennett, I'm not in it. You know, Dorit was like, Garcelle, let me talk, right? Let me talk. And Garcelle just looked at her like, talk Dorit. I know Dorit felt so stupid because I felt stupid for her. Now I'm going to take this green color, mix it with this blue. It's the Soul Sister. Mix it with the New Age and rub it underneath. Now, I know it looks a mess, but that's why it's makeup and mess. Makeup is messy until you get to the end of it. And then it gets better. See, look, I just poked myself in the eye with this brush. And look, I'm still standing. All right. And then I'm going to take some of the pastel matte green again and just go over that so it doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like 1982 called and wants their eyeshadow back. Or is this 1970? I don't know. And then I just take that thing and I go. Now, if you look like a raccoon on crack, you're doing the right thing. You're moving in the right direction. This is a positive. You look at yourself, and if your man, woman, child, whoever walks into the place where you're doing makeup and they say, what the hell? You're in the right direction. So keep it up, right? So then I just like to take a blush brush and remove all that. As a matter of fact, where is my world-renowned beauty blender? Hold on. I'm a big fan of the Beauty Blender foundation. Hold on, we're about to get back to Garcelle and some part Porsha and Simon, but I just want to explain because y'all are like, it doesn't matter. Y'all ain't saying nothing because this is a video. Anyway, get the Beauty Blender, the foundation. It's just one pump. It covers really, really well. And when you pump it out, it hits right here. So it has its own little thing. The only thing I will say about the Beauty Blender foundation, if you don't have a wet, a damp Beauty Blender, it's not going to work. You need a damp beauty blender for it to work. You put that all over, right? As much as you want, it's buildable. Since I'm just talking to you, I'm just going to put a light coat to perfect this mess. Now, how did Lisa Rinna actually act like she has one black friend? So you realize when when Garcelle was like, yeah, and you said you ain't want this to be about race, basically saying like you don't understand why there's black people on the show or anyone that's not white on the show. At least that's how I took it, right? It's color pop, nice lavender pink. It really brightens the face no matter what your complexion is. From the palest to the most caramel and going into the chocolate. So anyway, so Garcelle did that. And Lisa Rinna was immediately taken aback because she didn't expect Garcelle to be holding on to that. Now, how's she like really trying to make us convinced that she isn't the R word? Well, I'll tell you. She's posting throwback pictures of her and Garcelle. She dug through the crates and she found one picture, right? She found one picture of her and Garcelle where they were at one party, right? And that's it. It makes me kind of think, Lisa, this is all you have to go to say that you and Garcelle are friends, that you found a picture judging by the fashions is literally 1985? Lisa, girl, it's screaming desperation. It's screaming, what are you doing? It's screaming, Garcelle might have been onto something with everything that she was saying. So I did to prep my brows. Look at these babies ready. It's the Benefit brow gel. I'm not done with my brows, but this is what I do to prep them because I find the color. If you are from the no brow having committee, you will need this. Give this color pop a second. I know I put on a lot of blush, and I know you might be like, ooh, too much, wrong way, but it's really going to work out, right? But I don't know what Lisa was trying to do. I mean, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Garcelle and Lisa are actually friends? And by Garcelle and Lisa, I mean, do you think that Lisa is anybody's damn friend, right? Do you think that she is anybody's damn friend? Because honestly, Lisa can play stupid all she wants. I remember what she did to Denise. So does Garcelle. So does everyone. And it looks like Lisa Rinna hasn't learned anything at all. All right, so then I'm just going to blend this out, right? I like the way this looks. I'll put a little more green mixed with blue. I like the way this looks, but you know, I like my eye shadows a little fairyish, right? I like to look like I'm Queen of the Fae, where the color comes up to my eyebrow. Oddly enough, I wore this on my Ladies First panel. If you guys have not seen the Ooh Ladies First panel with Niecy, Dixon, Miss Bondi Blue, Miss J. Lee, and of course, Jamie, that's me. Hey, bitch. You need to go check that out. Now, Norm, I want this to be a little bit fairish, so I'm just going to blend down here. Don't be afraid to let your eyeshadow go like a little bit lower than it's supposed to do, because it really does give you like a pretty washed look. Again, if you look like a raccoon on crack, you're doing the right thing, right? Now, you see we got the pink cheeks and this eye, so you look like a raccoon with rabies, right? With rabies. And that is the look that we are going on right now. You want to look extraterrestrial. That's what we're going for. Now let's talk about Porsha and Simon. Y'all. Woo! Where do we start? All right. A couple of you guys sent me screenshots of interactions that you guys had with Simon, right? So one person, he was posting a house in Costa Rica, and one person put on there, yo, I heard that was a rental. They sent me a screenshot of this, right? So then Simon said, my dear woman, because you know he has to act like listen, he really thinks he's the poet of our generation, right? He has to act like he is like just steeped in poetry, right? This is the Wet n Wild 18-hour liner. And he was like, my dear madam, the Queen's English does decline. He didn't say the Queen's English, but he said something along there. I'll skip through it and paraphrase because I don't feel like having y'all roll your eyes, right? And he said he will give $5,000. $5,000 to anyone that can prove that that house is a rental. Anyone, $5,000. To which I said, How old are we, 12? Who the hell is getting up and working for $5,000? But listen, there's more to the story, right? So I said 5,000 is an interesting number. Oh, and then he put get to work sis with this emojis. And I said, Simon's so old that he hears young black women saying get to work sis, and he thinks it's acceptable to say here. But I said, you know what, that's the weirdness of Simon. We'll let that go, right? Get to work sis. It's like, your grandfather heard you and your friends say something, and now they keep repeating it, right? Get to work sis for $5,000. All right, Simon. So anyway, I thought that's an interesting number, because this is an old trick if you're trying to make your liner look straight. Do it with your eyes open and draw that straight line to connect. Because when your eyes are open and it connects, and you could mess it up like I am right now, but when it's open and it connects, it looks really, really pretty. Like it makes your eyes look more, not almond shaped, but elongated, right? More Asian shaped. Now I do know I messed up on this eye, but the great thing about liner, at least mine, I'll just keep putting it on until it gets thicker and thicker and thicker until eureka. We did it, Joe. We did it. Now since the other one is messed up, let's elongate this one to match. Look at that. We did it, Joe. So anyway, I said, you know what? Hold on, let me get my cap. I dropped it. I got to keep my $3.99 eyeliner alive. So I said, you know what? 5,000 is an interesting number, because it's like this, right? It's like if somebody said, Tisa's not a real woman, right? She's not human. She's just a doll that gets dressed up and talks. She's an android, right? And she's playing like she is a human woman. And someone actually said that. And someone jumped in my comments and said, Tisa, I heard you're not a real woman, right? I heard you're an android. What say you? First of all, I wouldn't start with the King English, like Simon does, right? But second of all, let me just get this inner corner working off, right? Can y'all see that? I'll try to zoom in. You zoom into the inner corner, it just makes it look prettier. It's that thing where people be looking at you all day like, wow, your eye makeup looks so pretty. And nobody knows why. Now you know. Anyway, if somebody was like, oh, Tisa, I heard you were like an android and you're not even human. I thought to myself, would I say I'll offer $5,000 to anyone that can prove I'm not human? No, because I know I'm human. I would say I'll offer you 5 million. I'll offer you 10 million. I'd offer you 20 million. Why? Because the shit ain't true. So I can offer whatever I want. The shit's not true. So I can offer whatever I want, because I know you're never going to find evidence that I'm not human, right? Now, we also have to figure out that when Simon made that thing about I'll give $75,000 to anybody that has proof that I cheated on my then wife, and then he turned the comments off on his purse. You know, when people make fantastical claims like that, everybody rolls their eyes. But you know that's actually an offer. Did you know that? Did you know that's actually a real offer? So if somebody says, I'll give you $75,000, whoever brings my bag, right? And then someone brings my bag, even though you might think I'm bullshitting and everybody might think I made a real offer, and you have the right to go to court and sue for that money. So I said it makes sense that Simon would give an amount that he can pay, right? Because somebody worth 100 million or 40 million, right, can only afford to pay 5,000 if anybody brings up proof, right? Let's follow this on this, right? So that's what, hold on, I'm about to drop my little camera stand. Y'all got shaking. Look, the Lord's like, tread lightly, Tisa. All right, our Father in heaven. Meet around back. We still talking trash. So anyway, back to that 5,000, right? So I said, okay, that's an interesting number, because you want to make sure if anybody can come up with things, it'll actually be 5,000 and you can pay it, because we all know that you're not packing the way you say you were. Just like with that 75,000, you turn the comments off so nobody can claim it, right? And then I said, and if it wasn't true, then why would you offer 5 million? Because no one's ever going to find evidence that that's not your place. And then I thought, wait a second. My video's been up for a minute and you saw it I know for a fact they did. And everybody saw it. And you ain't have shit to say. But all of a sudden, you're so confident, right? You're so confident that nobody can find evidence that you don't own the place. That's how confident you are, even though you just sat on it. Now, you guys, again, for those of you guys that want to be conned, you can go ahead and be conned. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. What am I here for, right? What am I here for? I'm here for those that have a little bit of common sense. Those that can look at 2 + 2 and be like, that shit adds up to 4. And I don't care if you say that the 2 is from Antarctica and the other 2 is from Costa Rica. It's still 4, right? So listen, what's going on with this situation, right? Because I know y'all posted me that Porsha's been saying, oh, in our home. Let me tell you something. First of all, recognize a PR play when you want. There was something reported on Tattle Tells that the show's a hit. You can't know a reality show is a hit until it airs. No way. Second of all, by all objective reasoning, everybody on all sides has said that that show is not given what to be given. They changed the course of the show several times because each storyline didn't work, right? Third of all, it can be a rental and still be our home, right? Right? You don't have to buy a house to refer to it as our home, right? Picking flowers, this is our home in Costa Rica. Now, I will say one thing, right? There's such a thing as long-term leases. The fact that Simon waited till so long to actually say that he owned the house, and even when he's saying he owns the house, the fact that he's only offering $5,000 to anybody that can bring proof it is. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? It's giving you made a non-disclosure agreement with the landlord. It's giving whoever you decided to get a long-term lease with, it's going to stay quiet, right? Because what needs to happen? The Porsha needs to come out, right? That needs to be a hit. Their lifestyle in Costa Rica. Now, you guys, I don't know how much time y'all have spent overseas, but when your primary place of residence is overseas, it makes it very, very hard to actually do business. This is hot chocolate, right? It makes it very, very hard, right? This is burgundy, I think. Yeah. That's what I meant to put on the first time, but I was so busy talking trash, I couldn't get it. It makes it very, very hard to actually do business in America. Now, for Simon, because he doesn't have a job, that doesn't matter, right? Simon is trying to tell us that he got $40 million with no employees. Don't come to me with that dumb trucking company because the shit only has 2 employees. And this is from what he registered, right? Maybe at most 6 employees. You got no employee, and the trucking company doesn't even move, so that's not where your money's coming from. You got no employees, right? You got no place of business. You got no customers at this current moment. And you running a $40 million company out of a laptop. You're supposed to let us think that you're so good with trading markets, futures. Simon's a baby day trader. Simon's a day trader. For anybody that knows day trading, let me tell you something about being trading. Being like, oh, maybe he got his money in investments. Maybe he got this shit locked down. Let me tell y'all something a little bit about the industry of day trading. And we'll get back to that house and ownership, right? But let's just do a little foray into the history of day trading, right? Day trading at one time was very, very big. But like most things that are controlled by the giants, of Wall Street, they always try to find ways to squeeze the little people out. How did day trading become a lost art? Well, I'll tell you. For one, this is Anastasia Dip Brow, and also this brush, it's just the end of Wonder Wand eyeliner. I just use it because I'm too lazy and cheap. Well, actually just too lazy because the brush is only like $20 to go to Sephora and get the number 7B brush. And every single time I go to Sephora to get it, this shit's sold out. So I just took it as God telling me to keep being a hot ass mess and using the brushes on the back of my eyeliners, right? Anyway, let's get into the whole thing of the lost art of day trading. Once the big corporate giants figured out on Wall Street that the little people were getting an ounce of the money that they should have gotten. Do you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. They invented software that can trade down, not even to the nanosecond, but the nano, micro, uber, millisecond. I'm making up shit, but the way it can trade so far and so fast on a drop of the dime is something that humans cannot do. So when you see all these deals moving, they squeezed out the day traders, because by the time you even go, no matter if you could say, yes, I want this Apple stock, the Apple stock could be in your cart. By the time you press enter, even if you jam your finger like, do it, they've already done 300 transactions. That's how they got rid of day traders. So the fact that Simon, and this is how you know that boy was in his prime in 1983 when the software didn't exist. The fact that Simon is trying to convince us that he's a day trader and he got the whole world in this little Hewlett-Packard ThinkPad, right? It's not even a Mac. It's a Hewlett-Packard ThinkPad, right? Right? From 15 years ago. Probably the first one he got when he was allowed back in the country, allegedly, after he got deported. But let's just get into this, right? The fact that he's trying to let us think that this is where his money comes from, this is how he's sitting on money. So, like I said, Simon ain't got no real job. He doesn't. Simon is, let's just start calling him Tommy. Tommy ain't got no job. He just be walking around with his little ThinkPad, getting dressed, walking down to his little office with baby dinosaur. I have to go to work. And she's like, babe, my baby be handling business. Meanwhile, let me stop. Anyway, he's trying to figure out when he's going to ask Porsha for the Wi-Fi password again, because he's been telling her he's working for the last 6 hours. And if he asks for the Wi-Fi password, she'll be like, babe, didn't I give it to you? Right? Like why PJ runs by dressed up as a baby unicorn. But anyway, let's get back on track. Let me finish these eyebrows, right? So Simon ain't got no damn job, so he can work from anywhere, because honestly, he doesn't work. And that's not to imply that he's living off of investment money. Simon does not have 40 million. Watch my interviews with Fallon. People have confirmed that. And you know the biggest plus that he doesn't have, because he's only offering $5,000 for somebody to bring him proof. Now let me tell you something. You can go down to Costa Rica's records and you can get actually any property, right? It's public record who the actual owner is, who bought it. Now the property is on the market for what, 2.65 million, which is a lot, right? But not really, because for a property about 2.65 million can get you a 4-bedroom apartment in Manhattan, maybe. Most of the time you're working at 2 or 3 million, right? 2.5 million in Atlanta can get you how far? But that's why his ass is in Costa Rica, because everything's cheaper. The rent's cheaper. The houses are cheaper, the chefs are cheaper, the food's cheaper, and quiet as this cat, the escorts are cheaper. Quiet as this cat, but that's something for another video, right? That's something for another video. You know what they say, right? When you're tricking on American girls, they want too much, but you go down to those third world countries, and Costa Rica, I know, isn't a third world country. Just follow me on this analogy. Shut up. Let me be catty. Without y'all actually interjecting truth, right? But you go down to those third world countries and all of a sudden popping bottles, you might have to spend what, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I don't know how much Atlanta bottle service is, but you might have to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in New York to even get a table and maybe pop a bottle or two, maybe, right? You go down to Costa Rica, right? You drop $300 and the whole club is like, hey, ain't nothing like a party tonight. Woo! You hear the sirens? Woo! Simon! Yeah! All the bottle girls are going at it and you basically dropped $300. I'm not joking. Y'all think I'm being funny? Hit me down in the comments if you've ever been to a club overseas, right? That just hit me up in the comments. And if y'all know, you know, right? Central America, South America, y'all know how it goes, right? You know that Simon ain't dropped nothing in Mexico City. He ain't dropped nothing where money really be popping off, right? Simon and Porsha and their long-term rental, good for y'all. Nobody's are home, right? We'll see what happens after filming, if they stay together or not in their home, right? And Simon's 5,000. Oh, but let me get you back to the story, right? So anyway, this woman literally went into the thing and said, hey, I got proof. And he said, send it to my DMs, all big and bad. So the lady said, I'm sending it right now, right? And then the next message was a woman saying, I think I actually might have the message. I'll screenshot and put it here. Okay, if I had the message, I screenshot it and put it there, right? So then the woman, he said immediately after that, you just blocked me. Unblock me. Whenever you get the message, it's sitting there in your inbox. Y'all, Simon's still playing games. And this is what I say about Simon. He is a typical F-boy, right? Where you gotta play all these games, and at the end of it, you still ain't getting anything out of it. He got everybody playing all these games. He'll give 75. Now he'll give 5,000. Y'all, and then talking about good luck, sis. First of all, for 85,000, he knows good and well somebody will fly down to the records of Costa Rica, go into the clerk and get the deed and be like, it's not yours, here's your proof. For 5,000, ain't nobody doing all that. Who's getting out of their bed for 5,000? But again, this is the type of brokenness that Simon's used to dealing with, that he thinks he's going to send somebody on a wild goose chase for 5,000. Sir, you better add a couple extra zeros to that, and then we're talking. And if it's at your house, why don't you add 6 zeros onto that, right? Because no one's going to find proof. Unless it's a situation where the owner gave you guys a long-term lease and it's all very, very hush-hush, right? The owner gave you guys a long-term lease and you signed an NDA that nobody can ever find it, or you guys are doing a rent-to-own option. Regardless, that shit's been out there. Something changed. Y'all got that NDA. Good for you. Porsha is doubling down. Why would Porsha be going along with this? Well, some would argue stupidity, and other people would argue, this is Revlon, Sassy Mauve, and some would argue that she's trying to save her show, because right now all she has going on as her full-time job is being Simon Gabodia's day nurse, right? Being Simon Gabodia's day nurse looks like in the pictures his swinging partner, but that's something for another video, right? And also, let's see, leaving jobs. She got the Pursuit of Porsha. Let's see if it's the hit that it is. But again, who's going to be watching? Is that Porsha's thing? They're going to have a house. And let's just say Simon does own the house and he doesn't, right? Let's just say, all right, it's 2.8 million. They ain't shit. It's really not. And I don't care what y'all say. It might be something if you're just working a 9 to 5, but if you're worth 40 million, what is 2.85? Honestly, and if it's a mortgage, right? And before anybody says you can't get mortgages in Costa Rica, you absolutely can, but they're done through private banks or foreign banks. But you can 100% get mortgages for properties in Costa Rica. Second of all, yeah, what do y'all think in the comments about this? What do y'all think about Simon offering 5,000 and thinking somebody's going to do some work? What do y'all think about somebody saying they have proof and Simon immediately blocking them? What do you think about all that? I mean, Simon says everything we need to know is on the internet about him, right? But as far as I've seen, the internet is smoke and mirrors. So I guess that's all we need to know about him. Also, I'm going to show you this look in a second. My hair is almost dry. It's getting there. Also, what can I say? Why is Porsha going along with this? You guys recognize game when you see this. The Pursuit of Porsha is coming out. She does not have destination. She has nothing to get the word out. Bravo might do a little bit of promotion, but they haven't dumped that much money into this. Yes, it got expanded a few episodes, but it's only because Real Housewives of Atlanta is such a mess and filming has been pushed off. So what are they doing? They're dropping things in Tattles. They're dropping things here. They're trying to convince us that it's going to be this amazing thing, right? Trying to convince us it's going to be this amazing thing that we all need to tune into. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, right? They're stuck down in Costa Rica because quite as a cat, Simon ain't got no house in Atlanta. He doesn't, and let's not forget the moving parts. Remember when Porsha said that, that's why I think Porsha's in on the con, because in the beginning when she was saying that Simon had all these properties all over in Nigeria and one of the multiple overseas properties, Simon doesn't have any other properties overseas. That Costa Rica house, they got a long-term lease. I guess that's their house. It's good. Lots of people rent. I have a few places I rent. What's the big deal? Renting is cool, right? The cool kids rent. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the false information you put out. We're talking about the things you had Porsha bragging about, and we're talking about now how the goalpost has moved so much that she's so determined to prove that they own one house. Now, the last thing is there has been gossip that at the end of Pursuit of Porsha, Simon gifts Porsha a house and gives the deed in her name, to which I said, shit, because let me tell y'all a little secret, right? About home ownership. When there's a mortgage, and that's even if he owns it, if he bought it, but if he did buy it, we all know that he had to get a mortgage, right? If there is a mortgage and somebody gifts you a house and puts your name on the deed, it doesn't mean shit, because legally it's not recognized until the bank gets their money. And once the bank gets their money, then you can actually assign ownership. Until then, it's an illusory contract. It's a ghost contract. It doesn't exist. Likewise, if I make a lease saying, I gift this house to Porsha Williams, right? If I say I gift this house to Porsha Williams and I don't own the house, yeah, there's a deed. Yeah, we can say we own it, but it doesn't mean anything, because if you go to court and try to enforce it, that's when you find out it's fake. You guys recognize the games being played. They're trying to hype us up and get us interested for the Pursuit of Porsha. You know, this is Pilar's second home. Great. They have a long-term vacation rental. We all knew that it was long-term. It can be rented, and there's an NDA that the actual owner isn't saying. You know what? But if Simon really wanted to solve this and shut everybody down and do the naysayers, he would drop the deed. He likes to show everything else. Drop the deed. It's public record. Drop the deed. But you won't, because, listen. Anyway, what y'all think of this look? It turned out pretty good, right? I'm going to show you guys in regular light. It's a little dark outside, but I'm going to show you guys in regular light how it looks. And I'll see you guys for the next makeup and mess. Talk to y'all later. Listen, stay woke. Stay woke. Listen, consider Porsha a cautionary tale. For all y'all saying, you just jealous because Porsha this and that, I just want to say, y'all ain't never had shit in life. Because if you did, you would recognize the con, you would recognize the hustle, and you would know this isn't about tearing Porsha down. This is about exposing Simon and all his lies. But I'm sure she's already dealing with that karma anyway, right? All right, y'all, right? Until then, all I gotta say is, win a case. Win a case. How about that? All right, y'all.